Hello, welcome inside the mind of Matt. And I 3D printed some bronze PLA and I'm gonna polish it. If you want to see, make sure you watch the rest of this video. Stay tuned. So I got this roll of bronze PLA from Virtual Foundry back at MRF 2018. I printed some of it on my Monoprice Maker Select. You can watch the video here. Where is it here? Right here. But I'm assembled a few tools and different things to try to polish this. I do believe that I have the answer though to the one thing that's necessary, but I'm gonna give a couple of these things a shot and see what happens. And I do have a little experiment that I'm gonna run with my soldering iron. So anyways, let's take a look at what we got and what we're gonna do, and we'll see what happens. Alright, so I did grab some sandpaper. I got some 800 grit sandpaper here. I also do have a little coarser, some 220. I also have the big polishing wheel here. Spin the camera here. So I got the big one, and I also got a little one. Found these little brushes as well. They're all gonna go in my little rotary tool. That's the word I'm looking for. Rotary tool. This guy hanging over there. Thank you, Jeremy. This is from Jeremy. This is like the first gift I ever got for my YouTube channel, and it was actually from a local guy that I'm friends with, and he follows me, watches, he likes and shares. That's what you should be doing. If you're not subscribed, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you know when my next video is coming out. Do all that, and then at the end of the video you can hit that like button, make a comment, and even check out any of the links I have in the description. But anyways, back to the project. So this was one of the pieces that failed that printing, but actually it turned out that I really just needed to let it print. It was kind of dipping in, and I stopped it and then resliced it, and I ended up with a successful print after that. But I figured that this would give me the opportunity to kind of experiment and use a couple of the different things and see what would work best. But just before I started shooting, I did turn on the polisher and put it in that, and that was with this guy here. And I think that that's going to be the ticket, but it did melt it a little bit, and it was just literally just a quick little touch. That's why I figured I went and got one of these guys, and this is a Dremel little polishing wheel. But anyways, so I'm going to run most of the experiments on this and see what happens. But first, before I do anything, I'm going to plug this guy in, warm it up, and see what the effects of like touching soldering iron. Maybe I'll sign my name. So let me warm this guy up. Okay, I think this is warmed up enough for it's starting to actually melt the plastic, but can you hear that? It's kind of sounds like half metal, half plastic. Very weird. And it's melting pretty easy. Let's see if we can sign my name. So it does melt it. So this is actually a piece I just pulled off of the roll. You see it is a little brittle if you try to bend it too far, but let's see if I can solder these two pieces together. I'm just playing around at this point, just being goofy. They're together. It broke before it came apart where I welded it. I actually pulled some of the infill right out with it. So it's definitely bonding just by soldering. I messed up the infill, but this is the sacrificial piece. Alright, so I did get some rougher grit. This is the 220. So I'm just gonna take a little side of this and see what happens. It's actually starting to shine up. I don't know if you can see that, but it's just by the 220. Let's see what happens when we go over that with the little 800. Definitely starting to get shinier than it was before. Pretty interesting. Now, let's take this over to the big buffer and see how shiny we can really get this. Alright, so here we are at the big buffer. This is a before. Now it's going to get noisy, so I'm going to play a little music while I do a little buffing. Now, it changed its pigment, and it's definitely shiny. I don't know how well this is going to turn out until I actually, get it on the computer, but I don't know if this lighting is hurting it or not. Here it is under the LEDs instead of the fluorescence, but you can see the difference in the pigment. But I'm going to go at this portion of it now, underneath the buffer, and just see what we can get it to look like. Now, I do feel it's warm, and I did feel it starting to kind of have a little bit of play in it, so I kind of stopped doing it at that point. But once again, this is just the sacrificial piece. But I'm pretty happy with the outcome of it so far. So let's go back to the big buffer. Well, it's hard to get in the little crevices, but we did get a little bit of shine to it. Let's go over to the rotary tool with some of the other tools, and we'll see what we could do on this other half. Alright, so up first, I want to see what this brush is going to do, just out of curiosity. Alright, that's more removing than polishing. So let's actually go to the cloth wheel that I showed you at the beginning. Alright, once I put some of the polishing compound on it, it definitely started to have an effect on it, but the big buffer has been saturated with polishing compound on it, and I believe it's the winner, so I'm gonna go with the maker coin here and give her a polish with the old big buffer over there. Alright, this is the best light in here for capturing this, I believe. So here you see it. I'm going to go polish it, and then we're going to see what it looks like afterwards. Alright, so I left the inside like that just because I wanted a nice little contrast, and the same thing with the inside, but it definitely polishes. So the only thing I've got to do is mess with the ring. I think it'll look cool in this color, and maybe do the same kind of thing with the candlestick at different points. I can polish it and leave other spots not polished, because I'm not firing it at this point because I don't have a kiln or anything ready for that stage in the process yet, but maybe in the future. So what do you say I go polish up the ring? Alright, let's do it. Alright, here's the before of the ring. Let's go see what happens. Well, I just got it caught and it ripped it out of my finger and it broke. Okay, so let's try the candlestick, I guess. Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, was an epic failure on my part. All caught on tape. Oh, but you see the percentage of infill, and you see it's a weak spot right there. Oh, it's alright. I broke this one too. Look at this. I broke this one right in half. Oh wait, that's got slotted pieces. That's for something else. Never mind. Stay tuned. Well, that was an epic failure. Except for I did manage to get this part polished without destroying it. So I guess maybe this isn't the tool to use. Maybe a little sandpaper or fire it. But I'm the guinea pig, or the foolproofer, or snowproofing it. But anyways, this has been a moment inside the mind of Matt. I hope you hit that like button, share on your social media, subscribe if you haven't, thank you if you have. Check out all the links that I have in the description for any shopping or any support that you'd like to give to the channel. And a special thank you to all those that do support the channel. Bye. buying me a cup of coffee or supporting me on Patreon, which is a list of people that support me at the end of the video. Thanks again, everybody, for stopping inside the Mind of Matt. Happy printing and be safe pouring. And don't use this to polish 3D printed parts. Peace.